which clearly means that Purim is coming. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening in the school. Of course, Purim. And in addition to that, I know we're also in the middle of a book, a readathon, where everyone's reading as much as possible. And I was kind of wondering if there's any connection between the readathon and Purim.
Oh.
So, I may need your help. With a raised hand, can someone tell me what is your favorite thing about the holiday of Purim? Yes? Dressing up. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yes? Ah, I love that. Reading the Megillat Esther. In fact, we may even talk a little bit about the story in a few minutes. Let's call in a few other people. Yes?
Dressing up, reading, starting doing everything fun.
Excellent. So all the things that were mentioned and doing everything fun. Can't argue with that. Yes?
Making mishloach manot.
Ah, mishloach manot. Making beautiful packages and gifts to our friends and neighbors. Let's call on two more people. Go ahead. Ah, of course. I love Hanukkah. What's your favorite flavor? Do you have a favorite flavor? No. My favorite flavor is the biggest one you can give me. That's my favorite. But we're going to call one more person. I know you have so many things to say. We have someone who agrees with you. Osnei Hamad. Okay, let's put our hands down. So I'm so happy that we mentioned all these different things. And among the things that are special, we heard Mishloach Manot, giving gifts to our friends, which is kind of interesting because there must be a reason why that's an important thing to do on Purim. Must be a reason, must be some connection to the story, right? There must be some reason why that's an important thing to do on Purim. There's another special mitzvah, also called Matanot L'Yonim, which is giving to those who are poor, people who need extra help. So if you can give some charity, some tzedakah, that's also a special thing to do on this holiday. So I'd like to share with you, based on the Purim story, the reason why maybe those special things are done, and maybe we'll connect it somehow to the reading thing. We'll try. So I'd like to share with you, as you probably know, there was a really bad guy in the Purim story. Someone over here remember the guy's name? Yes, sir? Haman, exactly. And Haman went to the king. Anyone over here remember the king's name? What? Achashverosh, exactly. So Haman went, very good, to Achashverosh, and he wanted to ask him if he could have the Jews go away. And on that, Achashverosh said, let's put our hands down for a second. Achashverosh said, I don't really disagree with you, but the problem is that there are so many of the Jewish people, and it may not be good, because since there's so many of them, it may end up causing a problem, because they may somehow maybe fight against me or something. And on this, Haman said, don't worry about it, because they are all spread out throughout all the lands, and you have nothing to worry about. They're not going to harm you, and in fact, no one will even notice once they're gone. And because of that, Achashverosh said, okay, yes, no problem. And Haman, as we know, plotted to do this terrible, terrible thing against the Jewish people. And I'd like to share with you something that may be overlooked, but the reason why maybe the Jewish people were saved. And the way I'm going to do that is by sharing with you a very famous story which you may have heard of. And it's a story about someone who was not particularly young, but he was exceedingly not my beard, don't worry. Okay, let's put down our hands. So I'd like to share with you a story about this older man who had 3 sons. And the problem was that these 3 sons didn't get along. In fact, he was a very good older father, older man, and he used to give his kids all these different nice things. He even gave them chocolate balls, delicious food, and they would still fight about it. They would try to grab it from the other, and one would say, his candy, his chocolate ball is bigger. And the father, as wise as he was, didn't know what to do. But here's the great thing about having a beard. When you do this, it's like rubbing a lantern. All of a sudden, you become very, very wise. And you come up with great answers. So he called all his 3 sons, and he said, sons, I want you to sit over here. I have something important to show you. They're going to listen to the father. They sat there. They said, yes, Dad, what do you want? He said, give me a minute. I just have to go to the woods with my axe, and I'll be right back. Go to the woods with an axe. So the man went, walked into the forest, started chopping down, I guess a bunch of trees or something. He came back with his bag. Sit down, stay seated, my sons. I have something important to show you. And all of a sudden they were curious, what's in his bag? So the man started pulling out all the wood that he had cut, all of the sticks and branches, and he put them all together like this. And he said, my son, please come, stand up, grab them, and I want you to break them in half. So the boy said, yeah, I can do that. I'm really strong. Yeah, no problem. He grabbed it with all his might. I can't do it, Dad. Son number 2, that wasn't his real name. Please come. You try it. And the 3rd son came, and he grabbed it. And guess what? He was breaking. And then all of a sudden, the father put them all down. And he handed one single stick to his son. So now I want you to try to break this. He started laughing. Come on, Dad. And almost with 2 little fingers, he broke it in half. My sons, this is the important lesson that I wish to teach you. You see that if you are all separate, if you all think only for yourselves, if you do not care for one another, you are just like the stick that can easily break. But when we all do things together, with my children, we are all united as one, just like all these branches, it's impossible to break. This was the message. This was the message of the wise man. He was teaching his children the importance of not just doing things separately, but to come together. In the Purim story, we find that Esther and Mordecai, they spoke about a plan for us to be saved. And they decided the way to do this is all the Jewish people, from far and near, we should all come together with a single goal, with a single mission as one. And because the Jewish people were unified, that is how it is explained that we were saved. This is how they explain the importance of Mishlach Manot, Matan Levyonim. On Purim, we have to think not just for ourselves. We have to think, what can I do to make it better for someone else? How can I put a smile on my friend's face? How can I help someone who may be poor? That is something that we need to do. Because when we do that, that is how we become like all those sticks bundled together. We're unbreakable. Because we're as one. And maybe this is the readathon. I was told that if you read a lot, that's a really good thing. But together with your entire class, if you read together as one, then it's even more special. So this Purim, I wish each and every one of you a bracha, a blessing, not only to be happy and to enjoy all the beautiful things of Purim, but also to remember the importance of coming together and being as one. Shabbat Shalom and Happy Purim!